Hi, I'm Kevin McDonald. I am the current school board incumbent member for District 5. I was appointed by Ron DeSantis. As many of you may know, I'm running to keep this position along with my partner Rob. And I think this is something that's probably more dear to your hearts here than most of the people I speak to, because a lot of people in Vero Beach are older. They tell me, well, I don't follow the school board, I don't have any kids in the school board, or in the schools anymore. And so their interest levels are lower, but for most of you, you may either have children or in the near, sometime future, you're going to have children. So this is really going to impact you, your children, and your lives. And it's important that we pay attention. We found out back in 2020, a lot of what's been going on in our schools throughout the country. When kids came home, parents looked in on what they were being taught, and a lot of it wasn't very good, it wasn't very encouraging. And that's created sort of an uproar across the country. That stuff doesn't seem to be part of what we have here in Vero Beach, but it is here and it's coming here. And we need to be aware of it and we need to resist it. I don't know if anybody saw the opening night of the Olympics the other night. Unfortunately, I missed it, but it's indicative of there is an attitude that certain people's values, opinions, the things that have been held dear and true, the things that have been held as common sense, have been not only dismissed, but they've been thrown away and replaced with an arrogant, in-your-face attitude. That kind of stuff that we're seeing is not just because that's what they feel, that's what they want to, they specifically want to stick it in the face of any of us who are more conservative, who have values. Being older, I've lived with those values for decades, but many of you, I think, share the same values. And that's coming originally out of our schools. We saw the riots and things that are happening in our schools in the last couple of months, that we have college kids who want to destroy a race of people. That's not common sense, that's not the values of America. And it's because it's coming originally out of our schools. And because that's where it's starting, that's where it has to be fixed. We need to be able to go into the schools and make sure that the stuff that's distracting from education is no longer happening. And sometimes it's small things, sometimes it's large things. We did have a resolution a few weeks ago as to whether or not boys are boys, girls are girls, whether or not boys should be allowed to proclaim themselves as girls and go into girls' locker rooms, go on overnighters and sleep in girls' hotel rooms. We had to actually vote and proclaim that was that what we know as being true is really true, because those kinds of influences are constantly coming, and they're coming into your schools, and it affect your children or your future children. So my background is I've been here in Vero as a full-time resident for 11 years with my wife Ruth. Came down from New York. While I was in New York, I was a president, chairman, and treasurer of a school in Manhattan for 7 years. So I have a lot of background in school boards, and I had 44 years as working in a couple of different Fortune 500 companies. So I have a lot of business background. But my interest here is I think that I can bring those skills, but mostly bring my conservative, common sense values to the decisions that we have to make. It's about creating great schools and having great results, and I'm happy to say that Dr. Moore and our school district have achieved some great results again this year. We're now the number 9 school district in the state, which I think is pretty impressive. We've got 95% of our schools are in A or B status. And we've held that A+ rating again that we had last year. In every category other than civics, where we equaled the state's growth rate, we exceeded the state's growth rate in every other category this year by 2 to 7%. So we're improving dramatically faster than the rest of the state is. So we're doing well, but unfortunately, those ratings put us in about, depending on the topic, high 50s to low 60% range in terms of being at grade level. We are graduating 95% of our students, but only 60% can read at grade level. So we need to improve the scholastics. We need to go back to teaching and not indoctrination. And I think that as conservative Republicans, you understand the need to make sure that those are the basis of the principles that we have, the policies that we have, and what is instilled in our children. Thank you. And vote for Kevin McDonald on the 20th.